Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, everyone here tonight. Well, President Rader pretty much said what I was going to say. So let me go through my prepared remarks anyway. Buenas tardes a todos and good evening, everyone. I want to begin the meeting on a sad note. Not that we are already in a somber topic, but David Toledo, a 7th grade student in Miss King's class, passed away last week as a result of chronic health issues. He has 2 sisters who attend Quinn, a kindergartner and 4th grader, and so our deepest sympathies go out to them and their families. Although it seems like we just met, like a week ago, I do have several things to report happening at the end of our 3rd quarter, but before I do that, I want to touch on the same issue that Mr. Rader did. As parents and educators, we want to know that our children have a safe and welcoming place to learn. And the recent mass school shootings, such as the tragedy in Parkland, Florida, make us worry about our children's safety while they're at school. And I want to reiterate what we said about that week's horrific impact on so many lives, is that those tragedies should hurt. That's normal, and it's normal to worry. You should know that the people looking out for your children's safety have learned many lessons from these kind of events. And at the local level, we collaborate with the Avondale Police Department regularly regarding safety exercises and procedures. So we share a common command language with law enforcement. As you know, we have a standard 4-response plan that we rehearse with our students. Our sites are designed to be able to delay intruders and allow time for first responders to arrive on the scene and secure the site. Also, access to our schools is channeled through offices during the school day. Our social workers provide connections to community resources to help people in distress and work with the families of students who were referred from our 2-tier threat assessment protocol. So your safety is something that we've planned for quite a bit. At the national level, it's critical that members of Congress enact sensible solutions. Right now, they have the opportunity to take action to keep our children safe from gun violence. So I would ask all of you to stand with the National PTA in support of these 3 pieces of bipartisan legislation that provide common sense solutions to prevent gun violence. One is the Stop School Violence Act, House Resolution 4909, the Gun Violence Research Act, House Resolution 1478, and the Fix NICS Act, Senate and House Resolutions 2135 and 3433. These bipartisan bills can be enacted right away to provide good first steps towards eliminating gun violence. I do not believe there's any one thing we can do to end this threat, but there is a network of things which must all be done. These bills would train community members in early intervention strategies, allow the Department of Health and Human Services and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to research gun violence, incentivize states and federal agencies to collaborate in reporting relevant information to the National Instant Crime Background Check System, or NICS. Now, how would you know about these 3 bills if you had not been at our board meeting tonight? And I would say it's time to get involved and make yourself part of the solution. Join your local PTA. Sign in to get student gun activists their emails. Sign in to get their constant contact emails. That's what I did, and that's how I know about them. You can do that too. If you want, you can take it to the next level and send a message to Washington, D.C. as well. Effective intervention in threats of violence can go unnoticed because they don't last long in the popular media's news cycle, but our law enforcement professionals and first responders are constantly attending to threats. Recently, an implied social media threat that parents alerted us at Fine Arts Academy was investigated and determined to be a non-valid, non-specific threat by the Phoenix Police Department within less than a day. At Tres Rios, 2 weeks ago, the story was different. An alert parent spotted suspicious activity by a man in a home across from the school and reported it to law enforcement. When the Phoenix Police Department confronted the man, the altercation ended in his death, and what police found indicated he was prepared for even more gun violence. It made us all wonder what might have happened had that member of our community lost faith in saying something when she saw something that didn't look right. But she did. And law enforcement responded. And this time, that system worked. And while some of the children who were nearby that house did feel the trauma associated with the shooting, no children were physically injured. So I want to publicly express my gratitude and the thanks of a grateful school community for a mother's courage and commitment to the safety of our children. We've asked her to attend the meeting tonight. She doesn't want to give a speech, but Miss Adriana Luna, would you please stand so we might recognize you and say thank you. Promised her we wouldn't embarrass her. Overall, our schools are still one of the safest places for your children. Threats to their safety are far more prevalent in an automobile and other causes of childhood deaths far exceed any chance of that at school. There's another crisis growing in our state that threatens the well-being of our children more directly each day, and that's the threat of the disappearing teacher workforce. This has been an organized effort by people who want to privatize public schools. We have been sounding the alarm on this issue for years, and the community finally seems to be taking it seriously. And there is literally no one to fill some of these positions. With just more than half of the school districts in the state responding to the latest survey by the Arizona Personnel Administrators, they found that there are over 2,000 unfilled positions in the state. That there are 3,400 positions filled by teachers on alternative certificates. And that this year alone, nearly 900 teachers who thought they were ready for the job walked out of the classroom and abandoned their positions. The National School Boards Association estimates there are over 60,000 open teaching positions in the U.S. at a time when enrollment in teacher preparation programs is little more than half of what it used to be. On a percentage basis, our district is doing better with teacher staff than the rest of the state. But imagine a nation without teachers. Maybe there'd only be teachers for the wealthy. Tomorrow, you should expect to see teachers all over the state, Littleton teachers included, wearing red in solidarity for better teacher compensation and support for the teachers on strike in West Virginia. This is a problem that cannot be solved by a little fix here or a percent or two there. It can only truly be addressed with a commitment to a larger, stable stream of revenue to compensate our teachers. Right now, both families and businesses would support some increases in sales and income taxes to address the teacher shortage. What we need is our government officials to have the courage to make their wishes into laws that will make a difference. Don't be fooled by expensive advertising extolling 3 years of improvement. It's been on the heels of twice as many years of cuts. Having said that, it should be abundantly clear how much we need the support of our community to keep the best teachers in our classrooms and our schools safe. So in this spirit of community, I'd like to invite you to join us along with many national public organizations in promoting the achievements of public education during Public Schools Week, which is next week, March 12th to the 16th. Even though students and staff are out on spring break, we're asking people to join in the national social media campaigns under the hashtags Public Schools Week and hashtag Love Public Education. Now is the time to speak out about the outstanding contributions made by our public schools. With the mounting changes in the education landscape, Public Schools Week creates a platform for Americans to express their feelings towards the public school system. Strengthening America's public schools is the best way to ensure our children's future success and our country's prosperity. Our board meeting this month is a week earlier than usual during the spring break, so I don't have details on the Read Across America Day. I'll have those next month. Meanwhile, I'd like to give you some examples of excellence in our schools. It's been quite a while since we sent a team to the state playoffs in basketball, but the boys' Littleton Elementary Firebird basketball team was invited to the state middle school tournament and placed 4th in the state in their division this month. Congratulations to them. Our appreciation goes out to their families, their teachers, their coaches for their outstanding support. Students at Country Place Leadership Academy teamed up with local leaders to host a Shark Tank competition, and students used the business model canvas of the Entrepreneurship Outreach Network to choose a problem, research possible solutions, and select a solution, which they pitched to celebrity judges, Mr. Billy Hickman, Vice President of Hickman Family Farms, Jason Yoakum, the CEO of STAX3D, Janine Van Leeuwen from the Entrepreneurship Outreach Network, John Pringle from the Buckeye Planning and Zoning Commission, Elliot Hobbs from the Arizona State School of Sustainability at SkySong, John Rico from the Buckeye Party Builders, Dan Davis, the Economic Development Director for the City of Avondale, and our own Dr. Allison Garland, Executive Director of School Leadership for the Littleton School District. The winner of the Future CEO Award went to Raul Losa, and the winner of the Innovation Award went to Sonia Perez Noriega. All 3 participants from the Trace Rios Service Academy entering ASU's Martin Luther King Student Art Contest to celebrate Dr. King's legacy of servant leadership received participation with distinction certificates, and Trace Rios students and staff were also recognized for their civic engagement by the Arizona Department of Education last week. Littleton Elementary, the Girls Who Code Club was recently launched. Club girls join a safe and supportive environment of peers and role models, learning to see themselves as computer scientists with an alumni network of thousands of girls across the country. I'd also like to thank board members Reyes and Sosnick as well as Avondale Council member Lorenzo Sierra for attending our 4th annual Digital Learning Day celebration last month. We were able to showcase how students learn with technology in all 7 of the schools participating. Other visitors commented that they could tell the showcases of educational technology in the classroom weren't just for show. Students were really using computers to learn and to show what they had learned. Soccer season ended well. First place for girls went to Country Place team. On the boys' side, students from Estrella Vista STEM Academy were champions. Softball and baseball tryouts are underway at this time, and students are excited to get that season started. So in closing, I'd like to express our appreciation to Richard and Barbara Park for their $5,000 donation to Quinton's Library. To the Littleton Education Foundation Board, Kelly Gentile, Megan Gracio, Tim Tyrell, Ms. Sousnick serving on the board for their $3,400 scholarship donations to some of those students to attend the Catalina Island football field trip later this year. That's all I have this evening.